So we're on page 72, and the problems we're going to do are from problem number 2. We're going to do parts V, X, and Y. So we're going to do V, X, and Y, and that's going to be one video by itself. And then the next video lecture will deal with problems 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, and 14. 10, 11, 12, and 14. So because of the length, I'm going to divide that up into 2 parts. So let's get started with number 2 and 2v. Here we have x to the 4th minus 25x squared plus 144 equals 0. And we can, if you look at this, you can realize that if we use 9 and 16, the 9 times 16 would give us 144. So the last times the last, minus 16 times minus 9 would give us plus 144. And if we combine the inner and outer term, so the inner is minus 16x squared, the outer is minus 9x squared. So minus 16x squared and minus 9x squared give us minus 25x squared. And so we would factor this into this. Now, this is a difference in squares, and this is a difference in squares. So we can factor x squared minus 16 to x plus 4, x minus 4. And we can factor x squared minus 9 to x plus 3, x minus 3 equals 0. So here we have 4 possibilities. X plus 4 equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. X plus 3 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. Well, if x plus 4 is equal to 0, then x is equal to minus 4. And if x minus 4 is equal to 0, then x equals 4. So we get plus or minus 4. And with the same thing with the 3. So these are the 4 possibilities. This means plus or minus. Now I'm going to check the answer, and it doesn't matter what you do here. So let's just do 2 samples. We'll do x equals minus 3. We plug it into the left side of the original equation here. X to the 4th minus 25x squared plus 144. And x is minus 3, so it's minus 3 to the 4th minus 25 minus 3 squared plus 144. So 3 to the 4th power means you multiply 3 by itself 4 times. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, that gives you 81. Minus 3 squared is plus 9. Plus 9 times minus 25 is minus 225. And so what you get here is 81, and 144 will give you 225. And minus 9 times 25 will give you minus 225. So this term is positive. This is 81. This is positive. This is 144. If you add 81 and 144, you get 225. And minus 3 squared is 9. So minus 25 times 9 gives you minus 225. So it's 0. So you can see, and the right side of this is 0. Let's try x equals 4, another possible solution. Again, x to the 4th minus 25x squared plus 144 is the original equation. 4 to the 4th means you multiply 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, and that gives you 256. So minus 25x squared, 4 squared is 16. 16 times minus 25 is minus 400, and this is plus 144. So if you add 256 and 144, you get 400. Subtract the 400 from here, you get 0. that gives you an idea of how to check this problem. Now, if we do the same thing with 3 and minus 4, we come out with the same answer. In fact, I think the numbers here are identical. You can see the numbers for minus 3 and 3. When you actually work them out here at the bottom line, this is the same as this. And for x equals minus 4, this line is identical to this line. So let's go to the next problem. And this is 2x. And here we have 2x plus 3, 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals 0, these two. So we're going to work on this particular part here first, because this needs to be factors. So we multiply 3 times 2, we get 6. And what are the factors of 6 that sum to minus 5? And the answer is minus 6 and 1. So I'm going to break this down and do grouping by factors, or factor by grouping. So instead of writing minus 5x right here, I'm going to write minus 6x plus x, because the factors are minus 6 and 1. So what are the factors of 6 that sum to minus 5? Okay, so they're minus 6 and plus 1. Now, you could say, well, what about 3 and 2? They would sum. Yes, they would sum, but you'd either have to have minus 3 and plus 2, or plus 2 and minus 3, and they would not sum to minus 5, because this term here is negative. So here we have minus 6 and plus 1. Put that right here. And now out of these two terms, I factor 2x. Okay, the greatest common factor for 2x squared minus 6x is 2x. 2x times x gives me 2x squared. 2x times minus 3 gives me minus 6x. Here I factor, there's an implied 1 here. 1 times x gives me x. 1 times minus 3 gives me minus 3. So I'm now able, there's an x minus 3 term and x minus 3 term, which becomes this one right here. And the 2x is right here, and the plus 1 is right there. So this term stays identical all the way down. We factored this, or if you like, we factored this into this. And you'll notice that x times 2x in this line gives me the 2x squared. Minus 6x is the inner, minus 6x is the inner, plus x is the outer, and it sums to minus 5x. And minus 3 times plus 1 gives me 0. So now I have a number of possibilities, and I can see a slight mistake here. This should be, oh no, that's okay, sorry. We can now look at each of these terms in the brackets. So we take 2x plus 3, make it equal to 0. Then x comes out to be minus 3 over 2. We transpose the plus 3 to the right and divide by 2. We get minus 3 over 2. If 2x plus 1 equals 0, then x equals minus a half. And if x minus 3 equals 0, then x equals 3. So we have the solutions: minus 3 halves, minus a half and 3, minus 3 halves, minus a half and 3. And if we plug that in to the equation, and we go back and we plug it into the original equation, you can see that I have 2 times minus 3 halves plus 3. And the 2's here cancel, so I have minus 3 plus 3 right here. And this is 2x squared, so there's the 2 there. There's the x squared when x is minus 3 halves, minus 5x, 5 times minus 3 halves, minus 3. Now, when we work this part out, this is 9 plus 9 over 4. The 2 goes into the 4 too, so we get 9 halves. Minus 5 times minus 3 over 2 gives us 15 over 2, and we've got minus 3. So minus 3 plus 3 is 0. So really anything that I do in this bracket doesn't really matter, but I'm going to follow through on it. So minus 3 plus 3 comes from here, this bracket right here. This part is minus 3, and this part is plus 3, as we've indicated. So 9 and 15 is 24. 24 over 2 is 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. So 0 times 9 is 0. And the right side of the equation is 0, too. If you check over here, here's the right side. The right side is 0. So we do the same thing with x equals minus a half. We always put it into the original equation. 2 times x is 2 times minus 1/2. The 2's cancel right here on the numerator and the denominator. I have minus 1 plus 3. This 3 is this 3. Now I'm going to go over here. 2 times minus a half squared. Minus a half times minus a half is a quarter, plus a quarter. 2 times a quarter is a half. So that gives me a half. Minus 5 times minus 1/2 gives me plus 5 halves, minus 3. So this part, minus 1 plus 3 gives me 2. A half plus 5 halves gives me 6 halves, which is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So this is 0. And the right side is 0. We go over here, we put x equals 3, then 2x plus 3 is 2 times 3 plus 3, which is 6 plus 3, which is 9. So whatever's in the first bracket reduces to 9. 2x squared is 2 times 3 squared minus 5 times 3 minus 3. So here, 3 squared is 9. 2 times 9 is 18. 18 minus 15 minus 3. This becomes this 18, and the minus 15 and the minus 3 become minus 18. So in this bracket, this becomes 0. 9 times 0. So you can see over here that in different cases, as you get to the second to last term, something's always 0. Okay, let's go look at 2y. First thing we're going to do is going to multiply x plus 3 times x plus 3. That gives us x squared plus 6x plus 9. Going to multiply 2x minus 1 times itself. First times first is 4x squared. Last times last is plus 1. The middle term, the inner is minus 2x, and the outer is minus 2x, so we get minus 4x. Now I'm going to collect the terms, and I'm going to bring them to the right side just to make it a little easier. So I'll bring this over to this side. 4x squared minus x squared gives me 3x squared. And then minus 4x, bring this over to this side, becomes minus 6x. Minus 4x and minus 6x becomes minus 10x. And plus 9, bring it over to the right side, becomes minus 9. 1 minus 9 becomes minus 8. So we can factor this as 3x plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. And that's the simplest way to do it. You could just realize that 3x times x gives you the 3x squared. And now plus 2 times minus 4 gives you minus 8. The inner is plus 2x. The outer is minus 12x. And so 2x minus 12x gives you minus 10x. And that's just by trial and error. You could do that. But if you want to do it more systematically by grouping, you could say, well, what are the factors of 24? 3 times 8. That sum to minus 10. So here's your minus 10. So we always multiply the first term times the last term. So the answer is minus 12 and 2. And now I've done it by groupings. It's just a more stepwise fashion than here, where I just tried 3x and x and tried various factors here that worked out to the minus 10x. This is more systematic. So I know minus 12 and plus 2. The order doesn't matter. I could do plus 2 and minus 12. It'll still work out. Minus 12x plus 2x. And now, from the first two terms, I factor out 3x. 3x times x gives me 3x squared. 3x times minus 4 gives me minus 12x. From these two terms, I factor out 2. 2 times x gives me 2x, plus 2 times minus 4 gives me minus 8. And you can see the common factor on these two terms in this line is x minus 4. So you can take out x minus 4 here, and I'm left with 3x plus 2. So this is identical to this over here. Just the order is different. That's all. Just the order in which I've shown, but it's identical to that. So the factors are, if 3x plus 2 equals 0, x is minus 2/3. And if x is equal to 4, x minus 4 equals 0, then x is 4. So let's check those values. And we'll start with minus 2/3. The left side, let's go up. The left side of the equation is x plus 3 squared. The right side is 2x minus 1 squared. We plug in minus 2/3 here. Minus 2/3 plus 3. 3 is 9/3. So 9/3 minus 2/3 gives me 7/3. 7/3 squared gives me 7 squared over 3 squared, which is 49 over 9. 2x minus 1 squared. Here's the 2x, which is 2 times minus 2 over 3, minus 4/3. Minus 1 is minus 3 over 3. It's the same thing. So minus 4/3 minus 3/3 gives me minus 7/3. When I square that, I get 49 over 9. So that works out. Now I'm going to check with x equals 4. We have 4 plus 3 squared is 7 squared, which is 49. The right side is 2x. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 1 is 7. 7 squared is 49. The left side equals the right side. Same thing with the previous one. So that completes the problem on number 2, the 3 parts on number 2 that we are doing.